the Jewish community and all the Israeli citizens. How this group can make a surprise in the morning, holiday, and defeat the strong army in the Middle East. But it's not army against army. Actually, they came with wagons and bicycle and all the small and weak facilities to enter to the state of Israel. But what they made in the area of the area around Gaza, that become shock for all the world. Raped women, killed babies, kidnapped many of Israelis, and also a party, music party that was in Reim. They killed more than 350 casualties, and we tried to protect ourselves, I mean the army, but in that time, in that Saturday, everybody knows that was a holiday, and to come and to protect this area it was very hard, until they brought almost 15,000. We're living in the Carmel mountain, and we have another village named Daryat al-Carmel, very close to our city. We live in harmony. We have a good relationship between all the minorities here, and we can be as an example how minorities and majority can live together, and the model of the coexisting here in Asfia. During the history of Asfia, I'm talking, as I said, 500 years ago, we hosted many groups, and we built good relationship, especially with the Jewish community. Before the establishment of the State of Israel, I'm talking about 1936, when we start the relationship between the Jewish people and the Druze community. About the war, friends, everybody knows that we get a huge surprise. Everybody understanding that the surprise, what happened in Gaza, put all the Israeli population in a bad situation, and actually we have been under shock, because a terror organization who during 2007 until 2013 built a base of terror, and Qatar and other communities gave a lot of support for the population of Gaza, and actually they built a base of terror. They have missiles, they have ammunition, and they have the ability. Threatening can threat only Israel. Actually, he has big mistake, because what happened with ISIS will happen with Hamas. And all these terror groups, if we will not defeat them and to isolate them totally, they will continue to grow and to create a lot of problems and trouble for all the Middle East, and especially with Israel. We have the kidnaps that they kidnapped, and we're talking about 240 in 2 weeks ago, and today we're talking about 137. For the humanitarian issue, they're supposed to release these people. Impossible and not acceptable that women, old people, still in Gaza. There is no medical treatment in this area, and actually the 81 Israelis that get back, they suffered so much hunger, medical, and all the things that they needed in that time. In that opportunity, I think the international community, especially the Red Cross, supposed to go and to visit all the hostages that they have with Hamas, because we need a lot of information. For the campaign, we are as a Druze community, and we're talking about thousands of Druze serving in the army, thousands. more than 10,000 Druze serving in the army today. And we are part of this campaign, and we would like that Israel will win this war. There is no possibility that Hamas will continue to active as terror organization. We have to stop them.
Girl in my family, which was formed from 11 children, and my parents, so we were 13 persons in my family. Our situation was not good. We were a poor family. We had no enough money to continue the month. So when I was at the elementary school, I had good results. All the teachers that taught me from other villages. No one teacher was from my village. They came from the villages around. Most of them were Christians. So before we finished the elementary school, all the teachers came to visit us at my home to ask my father to continue my high studies.
Yourself has taken since the October 27.
Yes, first of all, welcome everyone. My name is Viola Abu Shadid. I'm a lawyer, and also I'm a volunteer in Magen David Adom. Since the 7th of October, that morning, Saturday morning, something have changed in me, and I'm sure that something have changed in everyone in this country. I have raised my only son, and he is 25 years, and I raised him by my own self, without any help, only with the help of my family. And on the Druze community, we are actually serve the sons, serve mandatory military service, and the sons and the husbands also sent to reserve. My son now, he is on reserve on the north borders, on a dangerous place. So, and I want to mention also that a lot of women have not only one son, have few sons, two, three, four, etc. sons, and also the husbands, that all of them service in the army, not only because they want to serve, because also they are citizens of this country, and they love, and we love this country, because we are part of this country. I am a Druze woman. I am an Israeli Druze woman. This is why I'm saying about myself, because we was here even before the 1948, and all the women, or let's say most of the women, sent the sons and the husband to the army, and the more important thing that the woman lived alone with everything. Alone at home, and the woman supposed to do everything alone without any help. That actually means and seems like that we are served also. And I am happy. My son is, I am sure that he won't, and happy to serve the country. From one side, I am happy that he went to reserve, and I know that it's dangerous. Because he is from the country and he needs to serve, and on the other side, also I am afraid because he is served in a dangerous place on the north borders, and it's okay for me. I believe in God, and I'm sure that everyone will have his destiny anytime, anywhere, even if he at home or even if he in the army. Very happy. I know also to cook, and it's really small thing, but for the soldiers it's a lot, because now and on the from the start of the war, they have delicious food everywhere all the time. They actually don't need to buy anything at all, because they have everything. And we are very famous with our food, the Druze food, and there's a lot of women that volunteer to do this and to cook by their own time. and actually to divide food everywhere in the country on all sides.
Thank you, Viola. Thank you.
One more.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm very surprised to meet with Viola and Mrs. Saber.
Thank you.
To hear from their side about their opinion about the war and what they are doing with their family. I'm very happy to have you here. But there is a story that maybe you have to listen. Lieutenant Colonel Habaka, who died in the war, before he died, he brought a group of cookers from Yanuh, and they made barbecue for his unit. He made barbecue for his unit. His unit, we're talking about a few hundred people. They brought the meat, and they prepared the French fries and the serves before they entered to Gaza. You understood the situation. Another issue that Viola, in my city, very close to the municipality, children, I'm talking children, not people, old people, they start to collect food and drinks and everything to brought it to the south, first in the south and after that to north. Children, I'm not talking about old people and women, and they collected and they cook it, and actually in the Carmel we have a few units. These units become to be with a lot of fat because they brought them bread, and they brought them every day the lunch, and we hosted actually a unit here in Sia.
Don't die, only the physical body dies. But I am as eternal, immortal spirit, I reincarnate again and again. We believe in it. We have real cases of our children who talk about the previous lives. We had. So the Jewish soldiers, very brave, because they believe it is destiny, the fate of man, and if we die, physical body dies, but the spirit reincarnates as newborn baby and comes again after 20 years to fight again. To continue to live.
After how many years?
20 years.
After 20 years already.
Fighter, no, come after a few months or years, but they come as fighter soldier after 20 years. Come again. So it is one of our main basic beliefs.
Yeah, we believe in reincarnation.
Yeah,
Actually, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Actually, it's religious and logical, that I've heard it from religious people, is that at the end of the days, when you face God, you cannot expect of me what is expected of a disabled man. If I'm disabled, I don't have hands, I was born in Africa, how am I supposed to be as good as someone who is born in New York, to a rich family, who his father makes 20 million a year? So we have to be equal. So in these lifetimes that the soul goes through, you actually go through different phases. But that's another issue for maybe a different debate.
The main idea is to provide skilling and training and opportunities for Jews, men and women, in the field of technology. We have strategic partnerships with academia. We have strategic partnerships with industry leaders like Cisco and Microsoft and organizations like that. We also have with several government offices from the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Economy, Ministry of Defense. And actually we started working with veteran soldiers, but the idea is really to provide this kind of service across the learning lifetime from
law or correct this law.
Yeah.
So I was hoping as many people as possible can answer. One, if you agree that the law needs to be either changed or corrected, and two, would you rather see it changed as in repealed completely and restructured, or corrected to maybe, like as some people in the political realm say, add a clause, like add an equality clause. So I'd like to hear from
Yes, I'd like to answer your question. Most of the sections in the nation law, I don't know if you read it, but most of the sections in the nation law are of declarative nature.
Declarative nature.
Declarative nature. We don't have a problem that the capital is Jerusalem. We don't have a problem that the language of the state is such and such. We don't have a problem that the language is Hebrew. It's declarative sections. We have an issue with Section 1, subsection C, and Section 7 of the law. In these sections, according to the nation law, in the state of Israel, there are two types of citizens. You're either Jewish or non-Jewish. Now, given what we've explained earlier, the Jewish community since the late 1950s, we see ourselves as a special ethnic minority. As a special ethnic minority, we contribute, we serve in the mandatory service, we have our own court system. We're a special minority, okay? We're 1.5% of the general population. Following the nation law, in Israel, there are two types of citizens, either Jewish or non-Jewish. So for me as a Druze, I see myself as being left out. What we're asking for is to modify, not to cancel, to modify this law to include a section that includes me as a Druze, to recognize my contribution to the state, and following the previous legislation, to accept me as a special minority. So what we are asking for, most of us at least, is modifying this in terms of Section 1, subsection C, and Section 7 of the law to include the Druze community.
In my opinion, as a diplomat, former diplomat, I think this law we have to cancel. That damage the image of the state of Israel, who brought it, who adopted it, it's created a lot of problem for the diplomatic representative of the state of Israel. I said that in a different way. I was an ambassador of Israel in the center of America. I said that, I told the ministry, and they agree, most of them, they agree with that. But today there is a lot...
The Muftani is outside. Basically, this place was built from donations that were made mainly from Jewish communities in the United States. They helped us and they still are helping us. That's our part to say to them. Mr. Ashraf Halabi, before we move to any more questions?
Yes, first I'm sorry if my English is not so good like Anan, because his English is much better than the British. That's what I feel. I do my best. First, I wanted to tell you that the Israel community, it's very, very peaceful community. We don't like war, we don't want war, but actually when somebody, we are very peaceful, but when somebody comes to make something bad to us, we are the best soldiers all over the world. The bad come to the good things, and we want to be with the good people, not the bad people. This war, it's not against the Palestinian people and the Jewish people. This war, it's between the bad against the good, and we want to be with the good. That's why we are in this war, and also our soldiers there, and our community even our community here, the women, the boys, the girls, the small kids, they want to be with the good things. That's why we are working here and do our best to win this war, because we know that this war, it's all over the world, not just for Israel community, and we very glad that you people coming from out of the border to hear us and to know exactly what we are doing.
Worldwide, they are showing a lot of fake news. I am as a volunteer on Magen David Adom. I saw things that I'm sure that no one here wants to see this. And I want you really to take our voice and to show people the truth, because what happened on the 7th of October, even in a horror movie, doesn't exist.
Koftan, released soldier as well.
Hello,
can
everyone.
you please introduce yourself? And, say
I am Ali. I am Koftan's son. I am 26 years old. I want to talk with you on the operation room that we will show you in a minute. The operation room is like a fact-checking for Israel. Our main goal is to correct any false information and make sure the real story is out there. We don't just focus on the countering propaganda from specific groups like Hamas. We are ready to tackle misinformation from any source, especially after significant events, like what happened on the October of the 7th. Our job is to defend Israel by presenting the true facts and dispelling any lies that may be circulating.
Of Gaza side.
Well, that sounds scary.
Gaza now?
כן, כן, this is Gaza now.
אני גם, יש לי תרגום לאנגלית.
אז למשל יש
כאלה שטויות מפרסמים.
אז תעשי כאילו מה שאנחנו מצלמים, כאילו להראות להם שאנחנו בתוך כדי העבודה, אנחנו עושים את זה. This is the Gaza Telegram. We try to...
So basically you are monitoring the
fake news, whatever they do there and talking on their fake news.
Plus you have X where people are spreading lies.
On Al Jazeera, everything.
Here they stole some supplies.
The last time with other prophets in Egypt and Cairo and gave us our scripts of today. They are secret scripts. We don't advertise them. We don't like to be millions. Those persons who want to do terrorists. So during history we were persecuted from the Ottoman Turks, from the Mamluk, from different groups in the Middle East here. It was very, very difficult life for the Druze community to live here in a democratic way of life. Only the last 75 years with the friendship relations started during the British Mandate period. We were a small minority in the British Mandate period till 1948. In 1948 we had no single Druze with the refugees, Palestinian refugees. We remained here, okay, and established the communities and develop more and more the Druze community. We enjoy the democratic principles and values of the state of Israel, but we need to have much more, as friends told before. We have unequal conditions. It's not kind of discrimination, but it is unequal conditions from this citizenship. So we like to have equal rights for the Druze community also, as Israelis.
Very happy. Really, I am very excited because it's the first time that I share in a very important and big meeting with a very high level like this. So if there are some mistakes, I would like to forgive me. I am a Druze religious woman. I have big family, 7 children. They are all married. They are all educated. I have 5 daughters who are 5 teachers of mathematics and computer. My 2 sons are soldiers in the army service. I pray day and night to come back with all the soldiers in Israel. Really, I would like to divide my talking to 2 parts. The first part is about the establishment of the state of Israel. As you know, when Israel was established, it was in very, very hard period because it was surrounded with Arab countries which were not with a good relationship with their neighbors. They will forbidden him to go to pray in our holy place. But my father accept all these things, and I finished my studies. But I want to say something. All the religious people who didn't agree with my father to continue my studies after 4 years, because we studied in border school, so the sisters there taught us day and night. So after 4 years, I was able to be a teacher. I was 18 years old. I began teaching at school.
With these laws, it is very difficult to be democratic and justice and equal. So the government, the people of Israel, here say they like to choose some much more democratic and justice.
Hearing from the Israel media. Then we started to do these things. We started with a small room, with a small a few people to work with these things. And now, because there's a lot of work to do, we're making another room, and we start with that. We need money for that because we didn't have enough money to do everything. Then we start looking for money to make the other room and to bring more people to work this because we know that the war, it's two wars we have: the media war and the real war.